you ever started a project and then started another one and then started another one and then started, you get the point. But never finished the first one or the second one or the third one or any of them. Me too. Me too. In case you don't know me, my name is MJ and I am your creative confidence coach. I am I don't know what I am. And you know what? That's okay. But you know what we're going to do today? We're going to talk. We're going to talk more about finishing things. Let's do it. Let's do it. If you're like me, for most of my life, I've just told myself that I was not a finishing person. I was a starter. I start for things, right? And somebody else can finish them, or they're just never meant to be finished. So I really used to say that to myself, that I was just not a person who finished things. And there was a lot of shame behind that. There was a lot of creative shame behind being a person who didn't finish her projects. Eventually, at some point, I did that. I finally published my first poetry compilation like 5 years ago. Then I did it again, and then I did it again, and so on. So I did actually finish things eventually, but it took me a few decades. Yeah, I'm not kidding. Decades to get there. So I'm just here to say, though, it's not necessarily a personality trait. It might be a trauma response or a nervous system response, but it is not. It can become something that you consider a personality trait, but it's something that can be adjusted, fixed. I hate the word fixed. Let's see, something else. We can heal it over. We can heal it over. But what I really want to talk about is how much of a protection trait it is. Yes, I said that. A protection trait. When we don't finish things, we don't have to do the next step, which means showing people our work. It means marketing our work, if that's something that you eventually want to do. It means we don't have to be in that space of perfection, because a lot of us deal with that. Perfectionism that gets in the way of finishing projects. It's a real thing. When we finish things, it means that it's real. Then it becomes a real thing that we've done. And I don't know if, when I finished my book, I felt like $1 million. I felt like $1 million when I finished that freaking book. It was the most amazing feeling in the world. And then I was like, when's the next thing I can do? And I wanted to move immediately into something else instead of sit longer with the celebration. That's something that I also have trouble with. I have trouble sitting with celebration or celebrating my wins. I immediately don't want to sit in the discomfort of what's the next thing for this particular project. I want to move on to the next thing because that would mean that I have to sit with the discomfort of either taking the compliment that came with whatever that is, or then that meant that I have to deal with any judgment that came along. And judgment kind of means being seen. And a lot of us have this weird relationship with being seen as artists, as creatives, where we're like, oh my God, see me, but also don't see me. Don't see me. But really what that is a fear of being judged. We want to be seen. We want our work to be seen. We want to be recognized. We want to show other people our things. And we want people to feel things from our work. But we also don't want to be seen. We don't want to be judged. I see you. And I hear you. I really do. Because it feels unsafe. I mean, I still come back to this thing where Cyndi Lauper, I saw an interview with her, and she said that she still has a hard time eating before concerts, that even after all the years that she's done, she still gets nervous before she gets on stage. And honestly, that did a weird thing for me. It did this thing where I was like, Cyndi Lauper still cares about being judged. Now, I think she had said something along the lines of like not her personally being judged, but she was afraid that she wasn't going to deliver what people expected of her. So, what I've really gotten from watching interviews with artists who say that they move through the fear in a way, like they still feel the fear. They still feel the fear. Say that a lot. They still feel the fear, but they move through it. They recognize that it's going to be there, and when they're done doing the thing, the fear kind of dissipates or leaves because you're taking action through it. What that looks like is not a personal failure of themselves. It's more there's like a weird moving past. They have confidence in themselves. So what they're fearing is, like Cyndi Lauper, they're fearing that their work itself will not be good to other people. That I don't know if it ever goes away. I think it becomes easier to move through that fear when you start to have confidence in yourself, in your ability to move through those things. And unfortunately, the only real way to make it through that is to teach your nervous system that it's safe to move through fear in that way. A lot of confidence, especially creative confidence, comes from my like super small movements towards bravery in places where you like really need it's exposure, basically, right? So in the case of unfinished things, it's deciding that you're going to pick a project and you're going to finish it. And maybe what that looks like is you finish it for you, and you might put it aside for when you have the next boost time. You let your nervous system like acclimate to finishing things, and then you move on to, okay, I finished a thing, so now I'm going to share it in a safe space where people will encourage you to do that stuff. Get a coach, get friends who will help you hold you accountable to moving you through. But what it doesn't look like is like slamming yourself with guilt for like not finishing the thing and then rushing to finish the thing and then sharing it in a haze of, I just need to like do this. Then I have done something similar to this where I'm like, I am so sick of not doing the things and not finishing it, and I'm going to finish it and I'm going to put it out. And what that looks like is kind of rough. It looks desperate when you do something like that because it's coming from a place of desperation. It's coming from a place. But if you do it from a place of self-love, love for yourself, love for healing your nervous system towards being brave for yourself, that comes across as love and compassion, and your work will be seen more for what it's supposed to be seen for, what you would like it to be. Well, you can't control how people see your work, but you can somewhat show up in a manner that's, people can see anxiety, but people also know the difference between this is really hard and I'm showing up anyway, and this is really hard and I'm slamming myself to show up because I'm angry at myself and doing it because you think it's the next thing that you should do. There is a difference. I can definitely tell. And like I said, it's small movements. It really is. It's finding a community or a friend or someone who can help you be accountable and saying, you know what, I'm going to finish this project. And like going to co-working spaces. We have one of those for my creative confidence community. That's down below. So please check that out if that's something you're interested in a safe space where you can show up and say, okay, today I'm going to work on this. I'm going to do a few lines on this, and then do your writing. And then at the end, check in with us and ta-da, we're holding you accountable in a safe space. So what I want to say is that we can become someone who finishes their project. It is okay to have a huge list of whips, to have a list of just ideas. Like my list of ideas and works in progress is huge because there is a time and a place. There is certain projects, like there's a book that I have coming up and I know I actually need to go away, write the book and come back. So it's a very heavy book. There's a lot of like emotional things that have to happen and I need to go to a place that allows me to go there very deeply and be in a place where they can help me also facilitate the getting out of that place when it's time to come out of that place. But there are projects that I can do almost daily. I've got a weekly email that I send out about and I write a poem a week, at least one poem a week. And that looks like progress for me. That looks like actually finishing a poem a week. It was my way of holding myself accountable in small ways to move forward. But using my fear of disappointing people to do that in a way. And I want you to know that you are worthy of finished products of yours. You are worthy of finishing that thing and getting the recognition that you deserve for your lovely works. It's important for you to know that you're worthy of those things and that you're enough. And even if you don't finish those things, it is okay too. But all I ask of you is for you to be honest with yourself about where you want to be. And push yourself just a little to get to the next little discomfortable place so that the world can see your voice, can see your work, can see you, because you need to be seen, to be heard, to be experienced. Your work is a reflection of that. And I believe in you. Until the next time, I love your face.